Welcome to CG Tutorial. You need to hear this if you're a woman in India. The 100,000 rupees cash transfer scheme, known as the Mahalakshmi scheme. India, a land of vibrant culture and rapid economic growth, continues to grapple with the pervasive issue of poverty. Millions of its citizens struggle daily to meet their basic needs. In a bid to address this challenge, the Indian National Congress Party has proposed an ambitious initiative, a 100,000 rupees cash transfer scheme targeted at underprivileged women. This program, while well-intentioned, raises crucial questions about its economic viability and potential consequences. The Union Budget for 2024 to 2025 paints a stark picture of India's financial landscape. With a total income projected at 30 trillion rupees and expenditure reaching 47.63 trillion rupees, the country faces a significant fiscal deficit. This gap necessitates substantial borrowing, adding further strain on the national economy. It is within this context that the proposed cash transfer scheme, requiring an enormous financial outlay, must be carefully evaluated. The scheme's potential impact on India's economic stability and growth trajectory is a subject of intense debate. This essay will delve into the complexities of this program, examining its potential benefits and drawbacks. It will analyze the scheme's implications for various sectors, including fiscal health, inflation, labor markets, and global perceptions of the Indian economy. Additionally, we will explore the personal stories of those who stand to benefit from this initiative, shedding light on the human aspect of this economic policy. Community leaders and local stakeholders have voiced their opinions both in support and against the scheme, highlighting the diverse perspectives within the country. Finally, we will consider the global economic trends and how this scheme positions India on the world stage, influencing international perceptions and economic relations.
The face of poverty, income disparities in India. Apart from lack of education and corruption, probably the biggest underlying cause of poverty in India is a high total fertility rate, or TFR. A historically high TFR has strained resources and infrastructure, limiting access to basic needs and services, which perpetuated poverty. Families with many children struggle to provide adequate nutrition, healthcare, and education, hindering economic opportunities. This has ripple effects throughout the economy. This situation stifles economic growth, making poverty alleviation extremely difficult. Understanding the depth of poverty in India is crucial for grasping the broader socioeconomic challenges the country faces. For example, if the government assiduously lifts 50 million people out of poverty, but 70 million more children are born into poverty in that time, the efforts become unsustainable, perpetuating poverty and nullifying the progress. Official statistics reveal a stark reality. 117 crore people, a significant portion of the population, live on less than 15,000 rupees per month. This income level barely covers basic necessities. Drilling down further, 84 crore individuals earn less than 7,500 rupees per month, which is insufficient for a decent standard of living, while a staggering 29 crore survive on less than 4,000 rupees per month, struggling to make ends meet. The most vulnerable segment, comprising 12 crore people, earns less than 2,000 rupees per month, living in extreme poverty. The amazing fact is that, although the national average of fertility rates has been decreasing, fertility levels generally remain higher for underprivileged women than for women with higher incomes. Defining poverty and identifying the poor is a complex task, fraught with challenges and nuances. A purely income-based definition fails to capture the multifaceted nature of deprivation, which includes lack of access to education, healthcare, sanitation, and other essential services. These services are critical for improving quality of life and breaking the cycle of poverty. Furthermore, setting an income threshold for eligibility raises concerns about fairness and potential exclusion, as many who need help might be left out. A nuanced understanding of poverty is essential to designing effective and equitable interventions that can truly make a difference in people's lives.
Navigating the National Balance Sheet. Budget 2024 to 2025. The Union Budget provides a snapshot of India's financial health, highlighting the sources of revenue and key expenditure areas. The government expects to generate 26 trillion rupees from taxes, forming the largest chunk of its income. Non-tax revenue, including dividends from public sector undertakings and other sources, is projected to contribute 4 trillion rupees. This income is allocated across various sectors to fund indispensable services and development programs. Defense, railways, transport, infrastructure, food security, home affairs, rural development, telecommunications, agriculture, and finance receive significant allocations. Transfers to state governments, interest payments on existing debt, and subsidies for essential commodities like chemical fertilizers constitute other major expenditure categories. Taking any funds away from these sectors will impact negatively on the economic health of the country.
A helping hand, the intent behind direct cash transfers. The proposed 100,000 rupees cash transfer scheme, targeting crores of underprivileged women annually, is probably driven by a noble intention. To this, the critics say, the path to hell is also paved with noble intentions. The leftists argue that this scheme can help alleviate poverty by boosting consumption, stimulating demand in the economy, and improving access to basic necessities like food, healthcare, and education.
However, assuming only 20 crore underprivileged women are in India, with the estimated cost of 20 trillion rupees each year, the Mahalakshmi scheme would place an insurmountable burden on the national exchequer, or crush the purchasing power of rupee by ushering in an insuperable era of deep stagflation, or both. This financial commitment comes at a time when India is already grappling with a significant fiscal deficit, requiring substantial borrowing to bridge the gap between revenue and expenditure. Implementing this scheme without jeopardizing other crucial spending areas would require either a significant increase in tax revenue or drastic cuts in existing programs. Both options present catastrophic problems. Raising taxes would definitely stifle economic growth, while slashing spending on essential services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure would obviously have detrimental long-term consequences.
Injecting a massive sum of 20 trillion rupees directly into the economy, while potentially boosting demand in the short term, will have far-reaching and devastating consequences. This move carries a high risk of triggering inflation. A sudden surge in demand without a corresponding increase in supply will lead to a rapid rise in prices across the board, affecting everyday goods and services. This would heavily erode the purchasing power of the rupee, making it exorbitantly difficult for most people to afford even basic necessities. Thus, the economic damage it will cause will greatly outweigh the benefits of the financial relief to the population. While targeted cash transfers can be designed to mitigate inflationary pressures, they are not a foolproof solution either. The sheer magnitude of this scheme makes it a bad idea, regardless of how meticulously it could be planned. No matter how you design the mode of the transfer, you can't circumnavigate the sheer damage to the economy caused by any unconditional cash transfer of this magnitude. The good news is, we don't need to speculate about the outcomes thanks to shining examples in socialist economies. Just look at Cuba and Venezuela, where direct cash transfers have so brilliantly led to economic instability, soaring inflation, and delightful resource shortages. These disastrously mismanaged policies have predictably led to plummeting living standards and widespread misery. The proposed cash transfer scheme could also have unintended consequences for India's labour market. While the programme aims to empower women, a sudden influx of cash might disincentivize some from seeking employment. This potential reduction in workforce participation, particularly among low-income households, could impact productivity and economic output. Furthermore, the scheme's impact on wages and labour dynamics warrants careful consideration. A sudden increase in disposable income among the low-income population could raise wages and reduce worker availability, harming international competitiveness of Indian companies in labour-intensive industries. It would end up worsening every issue it aims to solve. Understanding these complex labour market dynamics is crucial to assessing the scheme's overall impact on the economy.
The international community, particularly investors and credit rating agencies, closely observe policy decisions in big economies like India. The proposed cash transfer scheme, while domestically focused, would impact global perceptions of India's fiscal discipline and economic stability. Concerns about fiscal sustainability and potential inflationary pressures would make foreign investors hesitant to commit capital to India. Credit rating agencies, responsible for assessing sovereign risk, could potentially downgrade India's creditworthiness, making it more expensive for the government to borrow funds internationally. Maintaining a balance between social welfare objectives and macroeconomic stability is crucial to attracting foreign investment and sustaining long-term economic growth. Always remember, political parties that have a track record of habitually disregarding corruption and prioritizing election victories over the country's well-being are a severe blight on our society.
Like, comment, share and subscribe. Bye.